Tim was an ordinary boy who loved the sea. Every weekend, he would go down to the beach near his house and spend hours watching the waves. He dreamed of sailing far away to places no one had ever seen. One day, something amazing happened. It was a bright Saturday morning. Tim was sitting on the sand, watching the boats in the distance, when he saw something unusual. A small, old wooden boat washed up on the shore. There was no one inside the boat, and it looked like it had been floating for many years. On the side of the boat, there was a name written in faded letters: The Ocean Explorer. Tim's heart raced with excitement. Where did this boat come from? He wondered. He quickly ran home to tell his father. His father was a fisherman and knew everything about the sea. "Dad, come quick, you have to see this boat," Tim shouted as he entered the house. His father followed him to the beach and looked at the boat closely. "This is strange," his father said. "I've heard stories about a boat with this name. They say it disappeared many years ago while searching for a mysterious island that no one has ever seen." Tim's eyes widened. "A mysterious island? Do you think the boat found it?" His father shrugged. "Who knows, but it's just an old story." That night, Tim couldn't stop thinking about the boat and the mysterious island. The next morning, when the sun was just rising, he decided to do something bold. He packed a bag with food, water, and a map, then walked quietly to the beach. The boat was still there, waiting. He climbed in and pushed it into the water. "I'm going to find that island," Tim said to himself. The sea was calm, and the wind pushed the boat forward. Tim followed the sun as it rose higher in the sky. Hours passed, and soon the beach was far behind him. As the sun began to set, Tim saw something in the distance, a small dot on the horizon. Could it be the island? His heart raced again as he sailed toward it. The closer he got, the bigger the island became. By nightfall, he had reached it. The island was covered in thick green trees, and strange birds flew overhead. It looked like no one had been there for many years. Tim pulled the boat onto the shore and stepped out. The sand felt warm under his feet, even though the air was cool. Tim walked into the forest, curious about what he would find. As he explored, he noticed strange carvings on the trees and large stones. They looked like they had been made by people, but they were old, very old. After walking for an hour, Tim found something incredible. In the middle of the island was a giant stone statue of a man holding a sword. The statue was so tall that it seemed to touch the sky. "What is this place?" Tim whispered to himself. Suddenly, he heard a rustling sound behind him. He turned around and saw a small animal, kind of creature he had never seen before. It had bright blue fur and big eyes that glowed in the dark. The creature stared at Tim for a moment, then ran away into the trees. Tim followed the creature, curious to see where it was going. It led him to a hidden cave at the base of a mountain. Inside the cave, there was a huge treasure chest, just like the one in his dreams. The chest was covered in dust and old vines. Tim's hands shook as he opened it. Inside the chest were sparkling jewels, gold coins, and old maps. But there was something else. An old letter. Tim picked up the letter and read it. "To the one who finds this island, you are the next explorer of the unknown. This island holds many secrets. Use your heart to guide you, and you will discover wonders beyond your imagination." Tim couldn't believe what he had found. He took one of the maps and placed it in his bag. The letter mentioned more islands, each with its own mystery to solve. Tim smiled. His adventure had only just begun. The next morning, Tim sailed back home. His heart was full of excitement. He knew that one day he would return to the mysterious island and explore more. But for now, he had to tell his father what he had found. As he stepped off the boat, his father was waiting on the beach. "Where have you been?" his father asked. Tim smiled and said, "I found the island, Dad, and there's so much more to discover." Thanks for watching. Subscribe my channel.